It's not always easy to find your mission in life. My path was rocky and rough for quite a while, a few years before I discovered clowning as a profession. Being a high school dropout and a runaway from home kept me floundering for a while. A couple of years, of all places, the Army took and sent me to Panama, where drug use was rampant. Even the brass was high. I became addicted to both uppers and downers and cocaine. A self-inflicted drug overdose nearly ended my life in 1974. 3 months in an Army psych ward, and I was given an honorable under medical condition discharge. Next, while hitchhiking, I fell in with 3 fellows who happened to be running away from homes in Wisconsin and had stolen one of their father's cars. We were all heading to California, but we ran out of money in Iowa and started shoplifting food and siphoning gas to keep going. Finally, in Nebraska, we actually robbed a store of their cash register, got apprehended, and I turned out to be the only one over 18, so I took the rap. I was charged with armed robbery and sentenced to the minimum, 3 years. Through all this tragedy, I kept my sense of humor and alive with jokes and comedy, which helped to while away the time. Eventually, I was given an educational release, whereby I attended school at the University of Nebraska in Lincoln by day and returned to be locked up at night. Everyone in my classes kept working on me to audition for plays, which I couldn't do, obviously. Finally, my 3-year stint was finished. I could and did try out for plays and got cast. During this time, I started a children's theater group called Progeny Players, where I was writing the plays and performed them all around Lincoln, Nebraska in schools. It was at this point in my life that I met an amazing young man named Marco the Clown. He was a mime clown and took me under his wing to learn by doing a clown act. We had a truly wonderful time together, goofing around and sometimes perplexed citizens. Next, I was hired by the Black Hills Playhouse in South Dakota, both as an actor and clown. As Poindexter the Clown, I would distribute pamphlets at fairs and festivals for this playhouse. When we wrapped up the season, I left behind my studies and caught a ride all the way to the west coast of Oregon, made my way here to San Francisco in the fall of 1980. Finally, I could become a street performer and be my own boss. It was lovely, but I was homeless and would perform by day and search for a place for my sleeping bag at night, often up near Coit Tower. Back then, there were lockers at BART stations everywhere, and I kept my stuff in them. I often did a quick change in the unsuspecting bathroom of the Hilton Hotel. Homelessness wears on one, though, so I knew I had to move on. My old friend and minister from the Baptist church in my childhood in Pennsylvania, Robert Wallace, had moved to Redlands, California, and was running a church there. I had an open invitation to join him ever since my suicide attempt in Panama. In fact, my father had arrived in Panama and had gone and called Bob Wallace on the phone to counsel me. Reverend Wallace told me that in no uncertain terms, I was going to be discovering my mission in life soon, and that the world needed me. He was correct. I was a clown at heart and soul. I went and lived with Reverend Wallace and helped him with his newly divorced, raising his 4 children, and worked in his church. Reverend Wallace introduced me to another minister named Paul Little, who ran the theater department at the University of Redlands. Paul Little told me that they were doing 3-penny opera and needed men to try out. I did so and somehow got the lead as Mac the Knife. So I enrolled again in college and stayed 3 years at Redlands. After college, I went to work in the streets of Hollywood and Venice Beach. It may seem silly and frivolous, but as a balloon-twisting, talking clown, I was finally free to be my own boss with myself my powers and my mythic presence. And if there is a through line in my life, I think it would be that I never lost my sense of humor, even in desperate times. In fact, I need to get out of here right now and go make some balloons for the kids that are having their party today, so color me gone.